It's really great to be here. I didn't know this event was on until I spoke to some of my colleagues earlier around lunchtime. And so I just messaged Armish and he said, yeah, great, come on down. So sorry for interrupting the agenda and the talks, but I was keen to get the opportunity to spend a little bit of time with you guys and talk a little bit, maybe recap some of the things we've been talking about at Symposium and give you guys a little bit of an inside look in terms of some of the things we announced, why we announced them, and hopefully I'll do my best to answer all the questions that you asked me. I'll be as straight as I can based on what I know and give you an honest, open answer. I think that's the way we want to operate now in Sitecore. So I think I've been this is at the end of a long trip where I was in Sydney and Melbourne and Singapore and meeting customers around the world, and I think it's pretty clear now that people are really, really excited about Sitecore's new strategic direction, our composable DXP, and what we're talking about. I think we've been on a fairly unique journey for a company of our size and our vintage over the last 18 months. We acquired some businesses to establish what we're calling our composable DXP. We announced 4 new products over the last few months, which has been amazing and testament to all the great engineers and product people internally in Sitecore. Both the older Sitecore crew would have worked on all of the XM, XP products over the years, together with the new acquisitions and all of the new hires we've made. I think we've brought the team together to build something I think really, really special. So I don't have any slides today. I'm massively underprepared, but I didn't want to just spend a few minutes talking a little bit about some of the topics that we've been talking about at Symposium and explain a little bit more, recap a little bit more the new products that we're bringing to market, because I think they're really exciting and it's good to have a little bit more insight. And then happy to ask any questions in terms of why we're going there, where we're going, have you thought about this? Probably haven't yet, but honestly, I think the key thing is that we give you guys enough information to make you feel confident and comfortable about the future direction of Sitecore. So if you'll remember, if some of you may have seen the Symposium or not, I think the key thing about Sitecore is that we've dramatically expanded our portfolio from what you guys, many of you would know Sitecore, XM, XP, and XC, provided primarily in a private cloud or self-hosted environment. That's been the product that's led all the Gartner Magic Quadrants and the Forrester Waves over the years. And it's been a tremendously successful product for Sitecore and a hugely successful product for all of our customers who get amazing value from that portfolio. I think we knew though, we were hearing from our customers all over the world that they needed us to have a more modern stack, a more cloud-centric stack, and a more API-first stack to allow new content architectures to be created and built using cloud technologies. And I think we knew we couldn't re-architect everything and bring it to the cloud, so we acquired 4 businesses. We acquired BoxEver, the company that I was the CEO and co-founder. I should have introduced myself. I joined 18 months ago as part of that acquisition. It's been a blast. I wasn't sure if I was coming from a small company that I owned. We had some great customers like Emirates here in the UAE. We had wonderful customers, but joining Sitecore, a much bigger, more established company with a boss, I wasn't sure, but actually it's been an amazing experience. It's been an amazing opportunity and a real privilege to be working with all the great customers and the technology that we have and try to establish a whole new strategy and portfolio and really kind of set the pace for the market again in the DXP space. So that's been amazing. So we acquired BoxEver to do CDP and personalize, Moosend in Greece to do new marketing automation, the EXM successor, Order Cloud or 451 is our new headless e-commerce platform. Tremendously exciting product that's really powerful for B2B and marketplace commerce. And Discover, a company called Reflection, a bunch of ex-Googlers out of San Francisco that have some wonderful search technology and AI technology that's primarily focused on products and e-commerce today, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about what we're doing tomorrow. So they were the announcements we made last Symposium. We said we've gone to the cloud, we've got this new portfolio together with Content Hub, we've got this wonderful portfolio of products, but there was a couple of things missing, right? So I guess the key first point was that we didn't have a CMS in the cloud, right? And if you ask anybody who knows Sitecore, the first thing they'll say is that Sitecore is a market-leading enterprise CMS. And so the big thing we had to do over the last while is actually crack the code and work out how could we get XM to the cloud. We looked, as part of that acquisition, when we were in that acquisition mode, it made sense for us to think about, should we acquire a CMS? But actually, as we looked at the market and looked at all the different competitors or products in the space, it became pretty clear that no other product had the same capabilities in terms of features, functions, enterprise credibility that XM had. Maybe it's us and Adobe really in that space. And it became very clear that if we acquired a product in that space, it was kind of going to be a product that wouldn't have met the vast majority of our customers' needs or expectations. So it became clear we needed to re-architect and take it to the cloud. And so we've taken a huge amount of our engineering resources, a lot of focus in terms of how do we do it, and we've re-architected XM, and now, during the year, I'm really, really happy to say we've now got our first cloud-based CMS in the market. It's a true cloud-native solution that has a wonderful new front end to really deliver on the promise of no more upgrades, infinite scale, elastic cloud capabilities, all wrapped up as a CMS in the cloud, something that very few vendors at our size have in this market. The other big thing was Content Hub 1, which is our headless CMS. I'll talk a little bit more about that. And Search is a new product for content search, and the last product is Connect. So we added 4 new products to the portfolio that I just talked about to create a full end-to-end composable DXP. I think before I jump and talk about composable, I think it's really, really important to talk about what we're calling now our platform DXP, which is our portfolio that you guys would know, XM, XP, and XC. I think it's currently on version 10.2, but we announced 10.3 at Symposium. We expect it to be released in the next week or two. It's a week or two wiggle room, but it's coming imminently. And I think the key things that I want to make everybody here aware of and confident about is that product is going nowhere. XM and XP on-prem or as a managed cloud solution is a key part of the Sitecore strategy going forward, and we're continuing to invest in it. Why is that? I think there's a bunch of geographies that aren't ready for public cloud. They don't want to do public cloud for a bunch of reasons. Data residency or geographic restrictions, some of those close to this, many geographies in APJ as well. So, Sitecore has got a really strong presence here in the Middle East, and many of the countries here in the Middle East are still not quite ready to take the jump to public cloud, particularly if the public cloud solution isn't hosted in their country. So we have a product, XM and XP, that will continue to deliver value for those customers. And then globally, there's a number of industries that are still not quite ready for public cloud. So healthcare, financial services, defense, these businesses, some are going on the cloud journey, but many are still want to host it themselves and manage themselves. And so for those businesses, we've got a really strong proposition for them. So I just wanted to really, really double down on that point, is that we've announced 10.3, we're planning 10.4, and we're continuing to invest in XM and XP. So for customers who are on that release train, they feel confident that Sitecore is continuing to invest in that space. But kind of like the electric car analogy that my CEO uses all the time, we believe within a short period of time, everybody's going to be driving electric, or everybody's DXP is going to be in the cloud. And I think it's undeniable that that's the trend. But if you look at Mercedes.com today, if you go to their website and you look at their website, you would think that they only sell electric cars. But if you look at their balance sheet or their profit and loss, 99% of their revenue comes from combustible engine cars. So they're in a transition. They know the future is electric, like Sitecore knows the future is cloud, but they're balancing that and continuing to innovate on their combustible engine cars. It's continuing to innovate on their electric cars, just like we're continuing with our platform DXP and our composable DXP. So that's an important point to note. But I'm here to talk composable, because that's the really exciting innovation that Sitecore is bringing to market, and quite unique in the market right now. So there's no other vendor with an end-to-end composable stack at our size. No other vendor has the ability to go as granular as we are. So when we talk about composable, we're actually saying that the monolithic stack that was so successful for Sitecore for many years, what we want to do now is break it up and offer individual capabilities on a best-of-breed basis, so that customers can buy just the CMS or just the CDP or just the DAM, and maybe they buy it from us or maybe they buy it from another vendor, but they can assemble those products into their own end-to-end DXP to deliver their unique value. That's kind of the reality of the way most customers work today. Many of you may be in partners where even when a customer is all in on Sitecore, they're going to have other products in the stack. They have to if they're going to send enterprise email or do some other capabilities that either Sitecore doesn't have, or maybe they need a specific thing for their industry that Sitecore doesn't quite deliver. So every customer has lots of vendors in their stack. And I think the big change for Sitecore, I guess, is we're saying that we acknowledge that, we believe in it, and actually we're going to support it. And if you guys want to have other vendors, even other competitors of Sitecore, we're going to be a friendly neighbor in your stack. We'll integrate into that capability and allow you to build the stack you need to be successful. I think that message is really resonating with customers. I think they get where we're going. I think they're a bit surprised by that we're saying it, but I think it's a good thing. Honestly, I genuinely think it's just acknowledging what's happening out there. The other big thing that I see in the industry is that I don't think there's many full rip and replace technology implementations anymore. People are gradually iterating their stack from where they are to where they're going. And in those iterations, they've got ideas. We're in an upgrade cycle for CMS, but maybe DAM's 2 years down the road. And when you think about that kind of iterative approach to evolving your stack to the best solution you need, then you're going to want an individual product at various points in your life cycle. And I think now with Sitecore's composable stack, we can kind of meet customers as they grow. It does put a bit more pressure on us though. So if we don't sell them everything and everything gets implemented, we have to sell one product to the customer, then that one product better succeed, because our bet is that we're going to sell a smaller amount of capability to the customer, and over time, the customer will be so happy with that product that they'll come back to Sitecore and look for some more capabilities over time. So this is a really big bet from our perspective, that we're putting the best products into market that can compete really well. And two, we want to be a longer term partner for our customers and our partners so that they can build and grow with Sitecore. So that's what that's the kind of the thinking behind the strategy. I think the composable DXP has been quite unique and differentiated in how we're talking about it. But we knew we needed to expand the portfolio to kind of give somebody the end-to-end alternative to what was in the platform DXP. And so I did mention 4 new products we announced. XM Cloud is probably the biggest of them in terms of strategic for Sitecore. It's our big bet for the future. We want to have the best CMS in the market. Actually, good point. One of the things that I did want to talk to you guys about was that we've been doing a lot of thinking internally about who is Sitecore, what are we good at, why do we win, and how do we best help our customers. Because we've expanded our portfolio so much, it's kind of easy to get lost in the fact that we've got commerce and CDP and all these capabilities. But actually, we got right back down to it. We believe that Sitecore, people choose Sitecore for their content capabilities primarily. And so what we've set out as a mission in Sitecore is that we want to be the undeniable #1 in content globally and disruptors in engagement and commerce. And what I mean by that is that we are going to have the best CMS in the market, full stop, against any competitor, high, big or low. We're going to have the best DAM, the best headless CMS, and all of the best content capabilities in that portfolio. And then when we look at our CDP and personalize in the engagement space, we want to be able to disrupt in that space. We're going to be able to compete with the other big vendors, but not necessarily expect to be the leader out of the blocks, but we're going to invest there. And similarly in the commerce space, it's unreasonable for Sitecore to say we're going to be #1 or #2 in commerce, but we can provide a unique commerce capability connected to our content capability that's actually quite differentiated. So you'll hear us talk a lot about being the leader in content and the disruptor in engagement and commerce, setting out kind of our guiding principles in terms of how we go to market, how we sell to our customers, and how we build product. But just to quickly cover the 4 new products, that we announced at Symposium. I guess the first one was XM Cloud. Big journey for us in terms of Sitecore. There's a lot of heritage, a lot of passionate people passionate about how XM was built historically, but we knew we needed to change some things to be able to make it cloud native. The first was we needed to kind of decouple the CMS and decouple the head, the content delivery, from the content management, the back office management content. So XM Cloud is a headless solution. So we don't host the head anymore within the platform. That does present some challenges in terms of migration, but it also allows us to upgrade the CM, the core of XM Cloud, on an ongoing basis, knowing that a lot of the customizations no longer live in the core. So that was really the thinking behind it, and it's a message being really well received. And to be honest, headless architectures are probably more modern and more future-proof in terms of how you look at it. The head can still be written in .NET or Blazor or some Microsoft technology, but we're strategically investing in Next.js and React because we believe that it has some really interesting capabilities that allow customers to deliver content faster and more scale and actually cheaper using heads developed in that front end. So we're all in on Jamstack in terms of being able to build content, publish it at CDN and deliver it at a much more scaled, faster, way, and a more modern architecture. We're all in on these new technologies, but we want to support customers who are still building in MVC and .NET. So that's really important. I guess the other key thing is that we've embedded personalization and testing natively into XM Cloud. What does that mean? We've taken IP from BoxEver, from Personalize, and IP from CDP to power personal page-based and component-based personalization in the interface and provide real-time analytics. So you've got a unified SKU, a single product that's very similar in proposition to XP in terms of content management, personalization, and testing, but now it's wrapped up with a different engine behind the scenes, and it's XM Cloud. I guess, one other point to note is that we believe that about 80% of our XP users use, relatively small amounts in terms of the capabilities of XP, they use for personalization and some analytics. So XM Cloud is a natural successor to a significant percentage of our XP users. And so for XP users who want to go from on-prem or managed cloud, XM Cloud is going to be right for them. And for customers who want more, and we do have some sophisticated customers here, I see Kersner here, who use a lot more of XP, CDP and Personalize gives them all the power that XP had, but in a new cloud-based solution. So we've got different configurations, they're composable, that kind of meets customers as they grow and as they become more sophisticated. The last kind of key point to note about XM Cloud is that we've developed a whole new front-end user interface. From the ground up, we took some elements of Horizon, some of you guys might know it, for page authoring, but we've kind of rebuilt that. We have a new site management interface, something that wasn't really in Sitecore before, but the engine was there, and a new component-based development environment that you can construct and build components, kind of like SXA components, but do it in a WYSIWYG environment while still supporting headless, while still supporting CI/CD, while still supporting development components in code. All of this is a kind of a rebuild from the ground up of how you build, create components to assemble into pages, assemble into sites. We can allow marketers and business users build sites from the ground up in XM Cloud with point and click, something we could never do in XM, but we can also still provide all the power and depth and configurability that XM is known for because we still have the engine behind the scenes. So it's a tremendously exciting product. Second one is Content Hub 1. This is a big one for Sitecore because it's an acknowledgement, and we're in a room here and people know this space, it's an acknowledgement that many customers want to build CMS and DXPs with a much more cut down, lean approach to content management. It's not all the capabilities provided by XM, it's a content database with an API. And this content database with an API, frankly, Sitecore, I guess we didn't really believe it was a market. It's been an established way to solve this problem as distinct from the Sitecores and the Adobes of the world. So we wanted to play in that market. And so we developed a solution based on the Content Hub technology that is a head-to-head competitor for all the headless CMSs in the market. It has really simple content authoring, really simple content modeling, and everything available via APIs. A really strong developer proposition. There's no WYSIWYG, there's no bells and whistles, but we do believe we have a really competitive product in the space. So it's really exciting, and I think it's a really important stake in the sand for Sitecore that allows us to now, and it's something we're going to explore over the next few months, start providing a sign-up online, self-serve model from the Sitecore portfolio. So very soon you're going to see some of our products are going to be available for trial online, sign up online with absolutely no salespeople involved. And that's a testament to how much we believe in the product, how strong we believe the product is, and also a testament to the fact that people want to buy in different ways. And some of the competitors in the headless CMS space have been very successful with that sales model, and we believe we can be successful with that too. The third product was Sitecore Search. This was a good one. This is a really good one because I think every website needs a search box, right? It's pretty simple. And we never really had, beyond Solar, we never really had a proposition in this space. And I think that with the acquisition of Reflection, the company that provides search and merch, the products, the e-commerce search and merch, what we got was some great tech, some super smart ex-Googlers, and we knew that we could make that work in other scenarios other than product catalogs. And so as part of that acquisition, we agreed that we wanted to be able to take that technology and abstract it away, not just to point at products in a product catalog for e-commerce, but point it at content in XM, in Content Hub, or in any CMS. And so that's been a journey we've been on over the last year. If you go to sitecore.com and search now, it's all powered by Sitecore Search. So it's in early access at a handful of customers now. GE Healthcare, actually a big healthcare provider in the US, they implemented XM Cloud in Sitecore Search on one of their sites over the course of about 8 weeks. So dramatic change in terms of time to value. Sitecore Search, I think, there's a couple of key points, exciting things about it. One is that everything's powered by API, so it's truly headless. There's a really powerful back office for marketers that allows them to boost, vary, and configure the search index really, really simply. And the last thing, which is really cool, I think, is that we can index any site and federate it. So we can index Sitecore sites in XM, we can index sites built in Content Hub, we can index sites built in Adobe, index sites built in Contentful, and we can aggregate all of those sites into a single index so that you can search once and federate across any CMS. So it's a testament to our vision for composable that we're providing search across any CMS, any content, anywhere. Another product, I know I'm just reeling off products here, but we did a huge amount of work this year. The last kind of product in the composable stack was actually a partnership with a company called Workato, which is it's called Sitecore Connect. It's an integration platform as a service. So one of the big challenges we've had with customers is how do we integrate all of this great capability with external vendors? The vendors that you guys may know, we have our own connectors to Salesforce and Microsoft. The challenge is they always need to be configured for each customer, and it always presents some complexity. So what we wanted to do is buy an integration platform that provides low-code connectivity from Sitecore to thousands of MarTech vendors. And you can do that now with drag and drop with Sitecore Connect. So if you want to take data from Salesforce, manipulate it and put it in CDP, you can do that with a drag and drop interface, like really point, click, go, and you're connected. So something that might take months can be done in minutes. And the last thing I just want to come back around to is Sitecore 10.3, right? We are really excited about this capability. Again, the team have been doing a huge amount of innovation in XM Cloud. And what we've been able to do is take all that innovation in XM Cloud and move it into XM and provide it in the XM release as well. So things like all the new APIs, new REST APIs, new suite of GraphQL APIs for modern development workflows. We've moved a lot of the integration capabilities out of the DLLs into webhooks, so it makes it much more web-friendly and much more upgradable. And there's thousands of other small improvements we've made as feature requests from customers, including things like headless SXA, so SXA that supports headless environments, not just for the scaffolding, but also for components, and also Next.js support natively there. So I think the XM 10.3 is a really nice step up in terms of modernizing XM. And we're starting to plan 10.4. And 10.4 for me will be much more focused on XP around cost efficiency, scale, Azure usage, things like that, as well as investments in privacy and security. So we got conscious over time, and I just wanted to run through the kind of highlights of what we've been doing internally at Sitecore. I am incredibly proud of what the team have achieved. I'm just the guy up here with the PowerPoint and the microphone talking about this stuff, but the team of 1,000 people in Sitecore moving mountains, and gives me the opportunity to talk and get everybody excited about what we're doing. So just wanted to say thanks a lot for having me. I'll be on the panel later. Thanks, Dharmesh, and happy to answer questions later on, and just whatever you guys ask. I'll be around for the evening, so do come up and say hello. Thank you.